is one of the best in the business. You've also got to look at Trevor Linden. Different style than Alexander Mogilny. Trevor Linden relies on his size, going to the net hard, creating problems for the defenders because of his strength and power. He's having a career year with 29 goals, and the power play goals is where he excels. He's got 10, which is best in their hockey club. So Linden, Mogilny, Ronning, they've got a threesome. I tell you what, look out on the power play. The penalty killers tonight better be ready.
Of course, the Capitals, by their inability to score goals lately, have put a pressure on a lot of players. Their forwards are obviously under the gun, but so is a guy like Sergei Gonchar. So much of the Capital attack can be generated from the blue line, and Gonchar is as good as the Capitals have in pushing the offense.
Well, he showed us all through his career, his young career, that he can jump up in the play with the best of them. I think against this Canuck team, he's going to be the fourth and fifth guy coming up with the attack. He's going to have to sneak in behind the back checkers, get in the high slot to put some pressure on Kirk McLean. The Caps need their defensemen firing, and when they fire the biscuit, they've got to put it on the net. You've also got to look at Keith Jones. This is one of the guys that they have to rely on, and he has got to get going individually. He's got to get his stats up. He's got to contribute more in his goal department. He hasn't scored in 13 games. Jonesy reunited with that big line, playing with Pavanka and Bondra. He's got to go hard to the net, which number one's going to open up space for those two guys, and he's going to create chances himself, which is number two. He's got to put the puck in the net out tonight.
A lot of guys on the Capitals need to get going, and that is a problem for Capitals coach Jim Schoenfeld. What does he have in store tonight? Well, let's head downstairs as we join Dave Johnson, who's standing by with the Capitals coach.
Beginning the homestand tonight, always important to take care of the home business, and during the season, the pendulum goes back and forth. You want to get it back in the positive direction. What do you have to do tonight to get in that positive direction?
Well, obviously, it's important for us to win the hockey game, and that's going to be a difficult task. We're playing against a team that I think is much better than their record. This is a team with a lot of very explosive forwards. You start with Mogilny, Courtnall, Ronning, Linden, Jelena. These guys have great speed, great firepower, and so we have to play a real sound game without the puck tonight.
What about an offense? Certainly you want to get your offense jump-started. Is there more of a chance to do that against a team like Vancouver?
I think there is, because they are such great offensive players. They cheat offensively, so if we can get the puck moved quickly in the transition, we should be able to trap some of the forwards. That should give us some 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, then we're going to have to take advantage of those odd-man situations.
Best of luck tonight.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Capitals head coach Jim Schoenfeld will send it back upstairs to Alan Craig.
Okay, Dave and Jim Schoenfeld, thank you very much. This is our only look on HDS this year of the Vancouver Canucks, so that means the locker check was vitally important. How do you break this game down?
Well, first of all, we've highlighted two of the finest offensive guys in the league for the Vancouvers tonight, and this is Alex the Grape. He gets a check mark here. The Canucks have scored 60-plus more goals than the Washington Capitals. The Caps, all D, that's their department. Third best in the league compared to 20th for the Vancouver Canucks. Physical. Both teams get a check. I expect a rock'em sock'em type of hockey game. The Caps should be very upset after their weekend performance. The power play, I give the edge, the man advantage to this Vancouver club. They're third best at over 20%. The Cap power play still ailing at 21st. And Al, just because it's a Canadian team once again, I'm bringing back a half a check for the penalty killing department. The Caps get a half a check, even though they had a dismal performance against the New York Rangers, where they allowed 5 power play goals and 6 opportunities. They're mad at each other. They're ready to go. They're going to have to kill some penalties off tonight.
Half a check. Doesn't he play for you in Richmond?
Half a check.
Half a check somewhere. So that's going to be the locker checklist with that legendary half a check. But let's get some final thoughts before this game gets underway as we go downstairs to Dave Johnson.
Later, guys, talking about Capitals Vancouver Canucks matchup, you really do need to talk about offense, especially a Capitals team only 1 goal over the last 6 period of hockey. Now, we talk about offense. A guy who really wants to get on track tonight is Peter Bondra. Has not scored in the last 5 games he played. Of course, he just returned this past weekend since missing 4 games with a groin injury. He said that, no matter how much you practice, you just cannot simulate the same intensity as a game situation. So he really did not feel that he played his best in the contest against the New York Rangers. But Peter Bondra feeling like he was getting back to the Bondra of old in the loss in Tampa Bay, the 1-0 loss. Unfortunately, Darren Pupa got in the way of Peter Bondra and the rest of the Washington Capitals. And Capitals head coach Jim Schoenfeld says that Peter Bondra is the type of player, not too worried that he's missed 5 games without a goal, because he's the type of player that can just explode, and of course, no better night to explode than a night against a team like the Vancouver Canucks, because we probably can expect the Canucks to score some goals, so the Capitals are going to have to generate some offense of their own. So Peter Bondra can get triggered. That'll probably help Michael Bavaca and also Keith Jones. We have the Canadian and American national anthems now from Susan Alexander.
American national anthem.
Stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Susan Alexander with the Canadian and American national anthems. Tonight's officials, the game will be refereed by Mick Magoo. He'll be assisted on the lines by number 55, Gord Brasiker, and number 35, Pierre Shampoo.
And let's take a look at our goaltending situation tonight. Kurt McLean, 13, 15, and 9. He gets to go again for the Canucks. He's their guy they hope down the stretch will lead them through the playoffs. He's a big guy. He plays a stand-up side and really cuts down his angles. And for the Caps, they go right back with Jim Ace Carey. This tandem of Kolzig and Carey, third in the league at 2.60 goals against. At home, he has 18 of his 27 wins.
So Ace Carey between the pipes for Washington. The two captains will go for the face-off. Hunter for Washington, Linden for Vancouver. Dale Hunter wins, and we are underway. Caps and the Vancouver Canucks at US Air Arena. Glad you're with us tonight on HTS. Dana Merzen back to play it, gets a bump from Kelly Miller. Steve Konowalchuk coming in to pester Jyrki Lumi. Hunter back to hold it in for a moment. Now Vancouver starts back. Jelena ahead to Courtnall. Plenty of speed with Russ Courtnall. Martin Jelena also a guy who can motor. Capitals look for a quick line change as Vancouver tries to get fresh troops on as well. Keith Jones out with Bondra and Pavanka. And here is big Dana Merzen, content to dump in, head to the bench. Alexander Mogilny has hit the ice for Vancouver.
The Vancouver Canucks, when they play on the road, Al, they've got the second best lead in the NHL when it comes to winning on the road percentage. They play very conservative.
Here's Rieke in on the play, set up by Jones, and Joe Rieke fired wide as the Caps get the first good scoring opportunity.
And that's exactly what we talked about at the top of the show. We thought Gonchar would be the guy jumping in, but big Joe Rieke, the importance of jumping up in the play. You can see the Canucks caught looking, not picking up the guy coming in. Pretty good save right there by Kirk McLean, but you see his style perfectly executed right there. He doesn't have any extra movement. He comes out, plays the stand-up style, and takes away that angle to the short side.
On that replay, I've got to give much more credit to both Kirk McLean and Joe Rieke. A quality shot, an outstanding save. Well, they have not registered a shot on goal. Joe Rieke with the first good chance. He's on the bench now as Johnson and Gonchar. Here's Peake from the high slot. Whistling it wide. McLean with a tiny piece of that. Todd Krieger back in Washington. Out on this line with Juneau and Peake. Thrown onto McLean by Joe Juneau from a tough angle. And the Canucks will start back. Carey will send it up along the board. Scott Walker holding it in. Walker out there with Gino Ojic. Brett Hedican pinching down. He and Peake had a collision. Todd Krieger can't get it out of the zone as it's held in by Walker. Caps have one more opportunity. Still can't get it out. Battle for Gino Ojic comes up high on Todd Krieger. Mick Magoo hesitated for a moment, now makes the call, and the Caps will get a roughing call against Gino Ojic of Vancouver and go on to the game's first man advantage.
And big Gino Ojic, he's a resident tough guy for this Canucks team. He shouldn't even be arguing with Mick Magoo, even though Magoo arm halfway up and then finally up. Watch this shot he gives Krieger. Gets away with a high stick right there. He bops him on the head and then the left to the face. And Mick Magoo says, that's enough, Gino, get in the box. The Caps go to an early power play, something they've worked on this morning before pregame skate, something they're trying to get their execution down. The best remedy for a power play that's not executing well, Al, put the biscuit at the net, look for the rebounds, look for the tip-in type goal.
Get some traffic in front of a goaltender who stands up like Kirk McLean. Now Peter Bondra is going to get whistled for interference as he got in the way of Trevor Linden. And just like that, the Capitals' power play is negated. Bondra in the box. We go to 4-on-4 hockey.
Well, Trevor Linden out there, he's the best penalty killer on this Vancouver Canucks team. Watch the right side of the screen. Here's Linden circling in. Look at Bonsai come through right there. Linden gives him a little hook on the left arm, and then look at Bondra's stick right there on Trevor Linden's right leg. He upends him right in front of the referee. Mick Magoo sends off Peter Bondra. We've got 4-on-4 hockey to start this first period.
Caps only were on the power play for 9 seconds before Bondra gets the interference call.
And this is dangerous for the Washington Capitals. 4-on-4, this team is dynamite, especially when you got a guy out there like Mogilny. 52 goals on the season. He's a guy the Capitals cannot control the game. He can win it himself if he gets the biscuit at high tempo.
And they had Cliff Ronning up front with Alexander Mogilny, another guy who can motor. The veteran, Dave Babich on defense, gets it up ahead to Ronning. He shakes himself away from the attentions of Joe Rieke. And now here comes Brett Hedican, another great skater. He plays on the Vancouver blue line. Cote bumped off by Mogilny. Now Cote recovers. Tries to get it to Miller. Behind him, thrown in front. That goes off the skates of Ronning as Babich sent it towards the net. Here is Mogilny. Watched by Cote. Finds Brett Hedican with a nice pass, but there was good defense by Kelly Miller to shake it out of the zone. Now Rieke throws it down. Icing is called off by Gord Prosecutor. Mogilny dances away from Juneau. Mogilny now. Backhand pass to František Kuchera. Broken up nicely by Calle Johansson. Denorti has it taken away by the pest, Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen rubs out Johansson. Gets a glove up into the face of Calle Johansson. Juno almost had a break. Puck got caught up in his skates.
He got Callio, and he also pulled down Mick Magoo for good measure. So Mick couldn't call the penalty on it. Pulled down both of them.
Juno and Pavanka out there as the Caps and Jim Schoenfeld respond with some good skating forwards. Calle Johansson, a little bit dangerous play there, and the Canucks keep it in for the moment. Now Tenorti will clear it out. Ojic about to head onto the ice. Quick power play for Vancouver, but it's the Caps in possession. Johansson takes advantage and clears down the ice. That'll give Bondra the opportunity to sneak out of the box. Back to full strength, 5-on-5 hockey. Trevor Linden bumped off by Gonchar, and a nice play by Sergei Gonchar on a big customer in Trevor Linden. Fortnell now finds Jelena. Martin Jelena into the zone. And Gonchar takes him out of the play. Sergei Gonchar, 2 good checks on this shift. Jeff Nelson can't get it out. Lume shot blocked. Here comes Courtnall to try, and he sails it wide. Mike Eagles. He's overcome by 6'4" Trevor Linden. And now Berube is able to get it up ahead to Nelson and out of the zone. Nelson taken off the play. Magoo watching it all the way. Let's play continue. Long backhand flip. Carey has to play, and he leaves for Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar at the tail end of a dynamic shift. Will head to the bench. Ricky and Cote now on defensively for Washington. This is Bondra behind the net. Peter Bondra held up by Jyrki Lume, shakes free. Bondra looking for somebody to deal to and finds Ricky. Now Keith Jones to Michael Pavanka. Pavanka looking. Pavanka in, shoots, save. McLean as traffic was gathering in front of him. Pavanka and Ojic come together with a big bump. Here's Cote. Avoids the check of Ojic. The Hedeken will flip up. Hits the top of the glass behind Carey. Now Ricky clangs it off the glass and out of the zone. 14 minutes remaining in this first period. No score from US Air Arena, Caps and Vancouver. Brett Hedeken deep in the play as his pocket picked by Ricky. Now Joe Ricky up ahead to Todd Krieger on for Washington. Here's Juno. He's got Peake to work with. Joe Juno stopping. Can't get the shot away cleanly. Krieger will come up with a loose puck. Backhanded down, gets it to Juno behind the net. He's collared. Now Peake scores! Pat Peake jumping on a loose puck and sliding it right past Kirk McLean. The Capitals take the 1-0 lead.
Well, good forechecking all around by this line. Peake, Krieger, Juno. Let Juno behind the net. Baranik's the forward, has to cover down low. Juno gets it free off the foot of Babbage. And look at this shot. Right along the ice. This goaltender, McLean, he's a big guy, and big goaltenders are prone to letting in shots along the ice. And there it is. It goes right under his stick before he gets his stick in front of his pads. The Caps up 1-0. Peake's 15th of the year.
At Peake out there on the line with Juno and Krieger, getting Washington staked to that 1-0 advantage. And they look for more as Peake holds it in. Now Vancouver ahead. Taken into Ronnie. That's turned around by Joe Ricky and sent back. At Peake getting the Caps on the board on their second shot against Kirk McLean. Peake coming back into the lineup after missing the Tampa game because of a kidney stone. Says that has passed, has to feel good about that, and feeling even better after getting the Caps staked to the lead. Back with more right after this.
Hello from the Plank Road Lane, where our man Paul and the Plank Road Warriors are here to make a simple little point. This is not smooth. In fact, downright clumsy. This, however, is strikingly smooth. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. And what's our team motto? It's not how many strikes or spares you get, it's how fast you get to the beer frame. Thanks, and enjoy.
I'm busting a grin from ear to ear, cause Roy's Philly cheesesteak is once again here. Sliced steak, grilled onions, cheese a la melt. Ooh-wee, excuse me while I loosen my belt. Just $1.99, that's the best deal in town. Nothing like this at that place with a clown. Yep, Roy's is the place where you'll get it right. You'll see what I mean once you take your first bite. The $1.99 Philly cheesesteak is back. Sliced steak, grilled onions, and melted cheese only at Roy Rogers.
The Vancouver Canucks trailing by 1 goal to their first power play as the puck comes around the wall, and watch what happens. Jim Carey corrals it. It's bouncing. It's on edge. He flips it. Misses the glass. Therefore, a delay of game penalty. Dale Hunter will serve the minor for Jim Carey. This power play at over 20% goes to work for the Canucks.
And they go to work with a quick shot from the point by Adrian Aucoin, one of the rookies, playing a lot of minutes for the Vancouver Canucks, and Carey will come up with a save. A guy who the Vancouver people think has got a great future. He's got a tremendously hard shot. You didn't see the big full slap shot that he's got, but he does put that wrist shot on Jim Carey, and a face-off to continue in the Washington zone.
Well, anytime you're compared to Al McGuinness with a slap shot at over 100 miles an hour, they expect big things out of a coin. He's out of BU, played in the Canadian Olympic team. He can shoot the biscuit a ton, and that's why he's out there on the power play to shoot the puck when they try to set him up, especially at the top of the umbrella.
Mogilny. He looks down low to Teakin and tries to get it to Linden. Here is a coin shooting. That's deflected wide. Now Linden's shot, and a sprawling save by Carey, and the Caps will clear out. As Craig mentioned, the Vancouver power play, 15th overall in the National Hockey League. The Caps 15th overall, tied for that mark in penalty kill. Deacon now back to a coin, over to Jyrki Lumi. His shot, and that's stopped by Carey and left. Vancouver keeping it alive until Cote is able to come up with it and skate it up for Washington. He'll fire on Kirk McLean and go to the bench as the Caps will change their penalty killers. Quick headman pass by McLean gets Vancouver going again. Now Tikkanen with some room. Asa Tikkanen on the far boards. Down to Mogilny. He tries to set up Lumi, who is going back door, but that deflects up into the crowd and stops play with 48 seconds remaining in the call against Carey that's being served by Dale Hunter.
Well, there's Alexander the Great. We saw him with 52 goals on the season. He's up there, right up there with guys that have scored 50. Look at this. Lemieux 55, Yager 55, Mogilny, Messier. What a year the Moose has had. Joe Sakic, I gotta love that guy with the Avalanche. And of course, big Eric Lindros in Philadelphia. Those 52 goals right up there. He's close to breaking the mark set by Pavel Bure out in Vancouver, just over 60. So he wants to get that record. And Vancouver loves the way Mogilny's playing right now.
I tell you what, Craig, as we see the Vancouver power play, what amazes me about that 52-goal mark, only 9 of those goals have come while Vancouver has had the man advantage. You look at Mario Lemieux, 24 of his 55 while the Penguins have been on the power play. Jaromir Jagr, 19 of his 55 while the Pens have had the extra man. Now Carey had a strange squirt off the end of his stick. Almost put right on to Russ Courtnall, who had a bad angle, unfortunately, for Courtnall. He had a chance there.
You got to love that stat that you just mentioned, Al. That means 5-on-5. He's dynamite. I mean, he scored 38 goals, 5-on-5 even strength. That's way ahead of Yager and Lemieux.
Here's Jelena in. He shoots high over Carey. Had a bouncing puck that wouldn't settle, but Martin Jelena had room. Caps will come back. Bondra. Peter Bondra to shoot, and he whistles it wide over the glove of Kirk McLean. Now Russ Courtnall, the brother of Jeff Courtnall. Dumps it into the Washington end, goes to the bench. On now, Jim Dow, along with Scott Walker and big Gino Ojic. This is Ojic bearing down on Cote. But a whistle will stop play. And we will step aside. The Caps, thanks to a Pat Peake goal, lead Vancouver 1-0.
Mike Tyson fought Frank Bruno once before. This is what happened.
Tyson gets nailed with a left hook. Tyson looks wobbly as he attacks Bruno. That's the first time I've seen anything like Tyson staggered. Mike Tyson doesn't seem to have that fiery look in his eyes.
Bruno versus Tyson, WBC Heavyweight Championship, March 16th. Live on pay-per-view from the MGM Grand. Call your cable or satellite company.
Ready to say goodbye to winter? Well, you'll find great savings this week at Giant's Goodbye Winter Sale. Take home boneless top sirloin steak. Giant Select is half price at $1.99 a pound. Save more than half on Kellogg's Corn Flakes at $1.38. And Sabor Latino yogurts are 3 for 89 cents. That's better than half price, too. So come to the Goodbye Winter Sale at Giant. But hurry, because it's going to leave.
You're watching Caps hockey on HTS. The Canucks trail by 1, but they get a great opportunity. Watch this normal speed as Martin Gelinas gets past Cote, but you see the puck's on edge. It's rolling. He tried to get it up over the top of Carey's glove, but with that puck rolling, he threw it right up in the glass. Not even a shot on net.
Dana Merzen turns it back in from the blue line. Hits traffic in front, squirts to the near corner. Jim Dowd there to keep it alive. Now Ojic back to Merzen. Scott Walker from behind the net. That's picked off by Gonchar. Dowd will turn and fire. Jim Johnson down to block that. Now Carey comes up with the Walker shot from a bad angle. Loves it. Takes the face-off. Jim Hayes Carey coming into this game with a record of 27-19-6. Back up to a .900 save percentage. The Caps would like to see that climb a little higher, but he has been sensational as of late. Has just allowed 1 goal in a little over 233 minutes. Actually make that 243 minutes as we've played 10 minutes and 13 seconds of this hockey game. So Jim Carey, you see, 3 wins shy of the team record. He's already got 6 shutouts, which is a new team record this season. Berube chops it out of the zone. The Canucks will regroup. Hedican zips into the Washington end. Riki behind the net to throw it along the boards. Now it finally comes out. Mike Eagles, who's out there with Jeff Nelson. Jeff Nelson giving chase against Brett Hedican. Nelson keeping it alive. Eagles in to help. Coming away with the puck. Quick move is Joseph Baranek. He throws it up ahead. Carey out to play it. Chop it off the boards and out. Craig Berube, who has been a hot goal scorer as of late. We'll talk about that more as the game continues. Puts it into the Vancouver zone before he goes to the bench. Now Johansson back to play. Calle Johansson quickly on the right wing side to Peter Bondra. He gets it ahead to Keith Jones, who fires into the Vancouver zone. Jones out there with Hunter and Bondra. Here's Peter Bondra around the net, backhand attempt, and that was knocked away by McLean, and then Keith Jones lost a glove and a stick in all that traffic in front. Shaken up for a moment, no penalty according to Mick Magoo, but there will be a face-off in the Vancouver zone when we continue. Caps leader 1-0. This is Caps Hockey on HDS.
Non-stop service to Orlando on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
They Dave Johnson back at US Arena. The Capitals with the lead on the Vancouver Canucks 1-0 as we take a look at the Washington Post scoreboard. Detroit and Winnipeg going at it tonight. The Red Wings with the 2-0 lead on the Winnipeg Jets. Fedorov and Darren McCarty, the goal scorers for the Red Wings. Capitals looking for more goals, and certainly Peter Bondra creating a lot of chances early on, but still looking for that goal. We'll send it back upstairs to Alan Craig.
Thanks, Dave, and let's take a look at one of those opportunities. Here it is behind the net. Jonesy to Peter Bondra. Look at this lateral movement around the net, trying to wrap around, and it hits his left toe. Look at that toe save right there. And in front of the net, Jonesy went down because he got a two-hander across the wrist from the defenseman. But he got up quickly. He was trying to draw a penalty to put the Caps back on the power play.
Keith Jones certainly getting in front of the net, sacrificing the body to try and make something happen. Now a scramble behind the Vancouver cage. Kanawalchuk away with it. Tries to get it in front where Hunter was stationed. Johansson to keep in. He fires. That's kicked out by McLean. Johansson again will take a chop at it. Bouncing puck. Hunter fires wide. Now Vancouver able to get it out. Alfred bounces off. Their captain Trevor Linden right onto Calle Johansson. The Caps turn it back around. Johansson now at center ice. He finds Peter Bondra, who leads for Jones. His shot and a save with the pads by Kirk McLean as Keith Jones whistled a hard drive in, and now Keith Jones heads to the bench. Berube on. Here's Bondra, shot and a save by McLean, who's been dazzling. Berube out there with Pavanka, who just fired that wide as they've changed things up quickly. Quick pass trying to find Berube, too far for him, and as Ronning touches it, icing will be called against the Caps.
Wow, some great saves by Kirk McLean. It just shows you how quick this big fella is. That toe saves on a couple of great Capitals drives. Peter Bonsai and also Keith Jones humming that biscuit Kirk McLean's way. Here's Michael Pavanka across the Bondra. That's getting that away quick. What a snapshot right there, and a nice save as Dale Hunter and company getting some opportunities. You think about Dale Hunter, well, after hockey, he's not going to be a barber. If we get a look at Stan Wong during the next stoppage of play, and there's Stanley. That's all Dale Hunter's doing. Stanley Wong was in the dressing room working with the cutter to try to cut his hair, trim it a little bit. Hunts came around, says, oh, I'll take care of it. Drove it right through the back of his head, and word had is on the street that Stan Wong got Dale Hunter.
Cote, quick shot, and again another great save by Kirk McLean. And I would agree with you, Craig Locken. Dale Hunter, stick to farming. I think Stan Wong should just be lucky that it was a hair clipper, not a wheat thresher that Dale Hunter was using with that haircut.
But Stanley supposedly got Hunt's suit. Cut up his suit a little bit for that little escapade. But Kirk McLean, he's standing on his head right here in the first period. 8 shots already. Many of them of the tough variety. There's Stanley Wong. Look at that.
Stanley could stand on his head, too, with that little platform that Hunter left him.
Hunt left him a little bit, didn't he?
Just a tiny bit. Like he's just come from Paris Island and Marine boot camp. Stanley Wong, certainly, along with Doug Shear and Craig Woody Leidig, the Carper, such a great job they do for the Caps. Gonchar, and again it's McLean, as the Capitals have peppered Kirk McLean with 9 shots in this first period. He's been beaten once, that by Pat Peake. Gonchar with a thundering hit on Jim Dowd. Sergei Gonchar has come alive in this first period. I can count 3 very good body checks. That one was the best. And now they come at Gonchar. Gino Ojic behind the play, trying to get something going with Gonchar. Krieger, he's thumped by Jim Dowd. Scott Walker will start up. He finds Hedeken, who again jumps up on the attack. Brett Hedeken, a save sent back out in traffic, and Johnson is going to get a penalty as he takes down Scott Walker. As the Canucks came back on the counterattack and had a good opportunity, Jim Johnson arguing this call with Mick Magoo. But the third Canuck power play, we've got to say, technically the third. The first one only lasted 9 seconds, but they had 3 shots on goal in their last man advantage.
And look at it, just going to the net. Walker going to the net, looking for that rebound, and there's Jimmy Johnson unbending Walker. Walker not very big, but a tough customer playing with Dowd and Gino Ojek, another tough guy. So that line out there to flex their muscles, stir the pot, create some chances for the Canucks, and they put the Canucks in a situation now where they're on the power plays. That's the type of job you expect from a line like that.
Lume's shot goes off the stick of Kelly Miller and bounces behind the net. Now Miller gets to the puck, turns and clears. So Jim Johnson called officially for holding the stick at 13:51. And the Canuck power play going to work. This Vancouver power play, like their entire team, so much better on the road, Craig. You really have to call the Canucks the Road Warriors. They're just 11, 15, and 7 at their new home in Vancouver, GM Place. 16, 10, and 8 on the road.
Well, yeah, and Ricky Lee, really impressed with the way they played on the road. They play a little conservative style at home. They seem to want to open up and play that Western style, and that's when they get burned. They're coming off a loss against the Colorado Avalanche where they lost 7-5. There was no D at all. They got running around. That's not the type of game I expect to see from them tonight. They're going to play very patient and look for their opportunities like power plays to jump on the opposition.
As we said, the Vancouver power play ranked 15th overall in the National Hockey League. They are 25th in the league when they've got the man advantage at home, but they're number 3 in the league when they're on the road, scoring 36 times in 174 attempts coming in to tonight's game.
And when you look at the Capitals penalty killers, coming off a game where they allowed 5 assists the last time at home, already even in their first power play against the Canucks, you can see they're playing a little more conservative. They're not playing the aggressive style that we've seen them play most of the year. They're staying back, playing in their box, playing conservative hockey. They think that's going to get them out of this mini slump penalty kill.
Of course, eating up a little time the way Steve Konowalchuk just did certainly helps. He's out there with Kelly Miller as the Caps keep the Canucks bottled up in their own zone for the moment. 1:10 remaining in the call to Jim Johnson for holding the stick. Here is McGillney. He's banged by Tenorti. Krieger comes in. Todd Krieger getting penalty killing duty. Lume swings it around to Aucoin. Aucoin gets it back, throws to the front of the net. That's deflected up into the crowd by Esa Tikkanen. And the faceoff now will come outside of the zone.
Well, what a start he's had to his young career. Adrian Aucoin scored in his first NHL game last year on a slapper, then goes into the playoffs and scores in his first playoff game. Not a bad way to step into the National Hockey League. They expect big things out of this youngster, especially jumping up in the play and that rocket that he can launch from the point.
And like all of the Vancouver defensemen, comes in with some pretty good size. 6'2", 210 pounds. He was a 5th-round draft choice by the Canucks, the 117th player taken in the 1992 draft. As Craig mentioned, played a year collegiately at Boston University. Russ Courtnall dumps, gives chase. Beaten to it by Sylvain Cote, but Cote can't clear. Now Courtnall trying to get it back to Hedeken at the point. Ronning finally does. This is Cliff Ronning along the near boards. Ronning with room to maneuver down to Courtnall. He loses control of the puck, but the Caps can't clear. Now finally they do. Up ahead, it's Todd Krieger getting the pass from Sylvain Cote. 3 Vancouver Canuck players, however, back. Bondra now is steamed into the action as Krieger does a nice job of killing off more time, and that should do it. Jim Johnson is out of the box. Cap penalty killers have done it again. Ulrike throws it out of the zone as Lume can't keep it alive. Merzen has to come back to play it with Peter Bondra bearing down on him. Keith Jones has gone to the locker room. We anticipate for some medical attention. So Craig Berube out of the left wing with Bondra and Pavanka. Keith Jones, after getting dumped and we saw shaken up, did come back for one shot, and it was a good one, but then went right to the dressing room. Try and get word on him when we come back.
I'm busting a grin from ear to ear, cause Roy's Philly cheesesteak is once again here. Sliced steak, grilled onions, cheese a la melt. Ooh-wee, excuse me while I loosen my belt. Just $1.99, that's the best deal in town. Nothing like this at that place with a clown. Yep, Roy's is the place where you'll get it right. You'll see what I mean once you take your first bite. The $1.99 Philly cheesesteak is back. Sliced steak, grilled onions, and melted cheese, only at Roy Rogers.
Sometimes little things say a lot, like this clip that lots of car makers use under the hood to connect components to the body shell. Quick and easy. Toyota uses nuts and bolts welded solidly in place. That's Toyota quality. In cars like Corolla, affordable, dependable, and now an even better value. But you knew that. Toyota, the official vehicle of the well-informed.
Get a group of family, friends, or co-workers together to enjoy the excitement of the coolest game on earth. Call the Caps office, 301-336-CAPS, where the American Express card is always welcome. Friday's game against Boston, already a sellout, folks. Tickets are going fast as the Caps have some good home games left. The Canucks with a quick opportunity. This one bounces up into the crowd as well. And part of this group here at US Air Arena picks up another souvenir. Scott Walker, the man who put it on. It was deflected by a Capital into the stand, so the faceoff remains in the Washington zone.
Well, the wild thing, Scott Walker with an opportunity. He's out there, he's a grinder. Defenseman turned forward, and look at him try to roof that one. Got a piece of the Capitals defender's stick up and over the glass. Walker out there now playing forward for this Canuck team. He's got 4 goals on the year, so he's contributing offensively.
Here's Berube with another hard drive, and McLean. The stick down to knock that aside. Berube again, leads for Pavanka, goes to the front, just misses the pass from Michael Pavanka. Craig Berube certainly has come alive offensively, Craig Locker.
He certainly has. A couple of goals the last 2 or 3 games. He's just going to the net. This is going to give him an opportunity now to play with the big line out there. His job, go to the net, create space for Bondar and Pavanka. Go to the net. Pavanka the best at threading the needle to get it back to you.
Gino Ojic avoids a couple of different Capital checks and puts a backhand that Carey has to make a save on. It's 10-6 Capitals in terms of shots, 1-0. The Caps leading Vancouver, 2:35 left to play in the first. Cliff Ronning loses control. Pavanka bats it out. 2-on-1. Now Ronning spins back, and they say Pavanka came in ahead of the play as Bondra had possession of the puck. That throws it all offside.
Normally, that's going to be an easy 2-on-1 for 2 of the speediest Capitals, Bondra and Pavanka. But did you see the speed of Cliff Ronning? He saw the puck bounce, and boom, he's back in the play. He turns a 2-on-1 opportunity into a simple 2-on-2, drawing the Capitals offside. So great speed by Cliff Ronning. Here's the breakout right here. Here's a good chance. Watch the puck come off the wall here. It's going to bounce, and here's the 2-on-1. But look at Ronning. He's 4 strides behind Pavanka. Pavanka tries to pick it up, and now look at that. Great defense coverage. Great defensive coverage by the Canucks, turning an odd man rush into an even man advantage.
Great work by the linesman, making the exact right call. And as you saw in the replay, that was a very, very close call. Ronning now. Back to Babbage. He sails that high and wide of Carey. Brett Hennigan will crank it up. That hits Joe Ricci in front. Never gets through to Jim Carey. And now the Capitals chip it out to center ice. Hennigan quickly to turn it on to Cliff Ronning. He finds the ageless Dave Babbage. Jeff Nelson and Babbage come together in front of the Vancouver bench. Juneau out there with Nelson and Peake. Peake is headed to the bench, and he's out on the Washington bench as Kelly Miller comes on in his place. We've seen a lot of line mix-ups for Jim Schoenfeld. Now this is Juneau with Konowalchuk and Miller. Juneau will head to the Washington bench. Hunter on. Watch for this line to get a little cycling going. Johansson keeping it in. Hunter gives it a chop. Now goes cross ice where Tenorti's come in. He throws it through the crease. Mark Tenorti. Now it's thrown back on by Hunter. And McLean has got to be alert there to stop the shot from Dale Hunter. Less than a minute to go in this first period. It's been a good one for Washington, but the Vancouver Canucks come back. Linden's first attempt blocked. Second one gets through, and there's Carey. Down to make the save on Trevor Linden. Now Bondra. Here's Peter Bondra steaming into the Vancouver zone. Keeps his edge, throws it to the front, where it's denied by Russ Courtnall. Bondra has broken his stick, but Hunter had a pass from Connor Walchuk hop over his blade. Hunter tries to get it in front. Riki pinches in and helps keep it alive. Connor Walchuk knocks it into the corner, goes to the bench with 22 seconds remaining. Jelinek stopped by Cote at center ice. Now Jelinek's backhand attempt goes off the body of Povanka. Thrown into the zone by the Canucks as Cote touches. Icing on the play. Face-off for Washington with 10.5 seconds remaining in a first period that they have played very, very well in.
They certainly have. They've come out with a lot of emotion, a lot of spark. They've been skating. They've been using their speed. They've been using their transition game against Kirk McLean, and out of that, they're using the triangle down low. They're creating scoring opportunities, tic-tac-toe, getting some quality opportunities. They're going to be very happy with this period's performance as they're going to skate off. I'm sure it's 1-0 now, but they still have 10 seconds to work with on the face-off to add to their lead.
Michael Povanka can't win the draw, but the puck remains in the Vancouver zone. Now it's fired along the glass and out by Linden, and that's going to do it for the first period. So the Washington Capitals outshoot the Vancouver Canucks 10-8. They get a goal from Pat Peake, flawless goaltending from Jim Ace Carey, and for the 24th time this year, they have taken a 1-0 lead in a game and go to the dressing room with that advantage. David Poyle and the David Poyle Report. When we come back, this is Capitals Hockey on HDS.